Yeah, it's funny because I was really into bodybuilding through the 90s.
I mean,
And
weren't we
always
all?
like, oh man, like Dorian Yates was my hero. I must have watched Blood and Guts on that, that blue VHS cassette.
Yeah.
It was worn out by
The screaming alone.
man, that the sergeant major training partner that he had, that little nuggety English guy. He's like,
Right.
that's what I want. That's what I
Yeah.
want.
When he's doing the pullovers, ah!
Oh, and he's doing on that weird Nautilus bicep machine. You can swear that he's just snapping fibers as he's lowering it each time, screaming in pain. You're going, okay, so that's how you train. All right. I need to go to the gym and do the same now. And so that's what I did.
Mhm. Yep.
I read Ed Cohen's book in high school. I'm going, yep, cool. Powerlifting's a thing. All right. And that's all I ever thought about it. And went back to bodybuilding and trying to be just as big and scary looking as I could. And then when my lifts got to a certain level, that's when I started thinking more and more about powerlifting. Westside Barbell just published their training page. And I think Louis had written 4 or 5 articles at that point. And then
Okay.
because he wrote about 24 or more in the end. But yeah, I found the website when there was only 4 up there. I read everything that Louis and Dave ever wrote, and then would go to the gym every night to try and incorporate it into a bodybuilding program. But it wasn't
Wow.
until I started trying to compare myself to others that I thought, I'll give powerlifting a go.
You know, I feel like I'm listening to myself. We have a really
Right?
similar background, like where I did the bodybuilding all the way up. Like I incorporated bodybuilding, and I still do, into my training.
Yeah, I'm the same.
But when because it works. I mean, you gotta have muscle and stuff like that. But when
Mhm.
I decided to really take powerlifting to the next level, I was like, okay, stop worrying about what you look like and get big. And I took my diet and kind of like stop, like, just maintaining here and just start upping those calories. Lifts went through the roof. And I started focusing more on squat, more on
Uh-huh.
bench, more and the actual lifts that we're going to put those up, rather than just go bench and then do some dumbbells, squat, then do some leg press. You know what I mean? Everything had a reason now. So, but we definitely started out the same way, with where, mine was like Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler, Dorian Yates. I loved Frank Zane is one of my favorite ever because
Uh-huh.
he just looked like a sculpture to me.
Yeah, all of those really aesthetic guys, like who else? Yeah, Sean Ray, Flex Wheeler.
The 90s bodybuilding was like peak. They looked insane.
Yeah. I was always a big fan of whoever was the biggest, freakiest guy on stage. So like, I liked Marcus Ruhl from Germany.
I was going to say Marcus Ruhl, man. He was
Right?
so crazy looking.
And that massive abdominal hernia that he had, an alien coming through his belly. Who else was?
His shoulders were he looked like he had shoulder pads on.
Yeah. Just something else. So yeah, if anybody hasn't seen Marcus Ruhl, Google search him. So Ruhl is spelled Ruhl, and he is just a monster. I loved it.
Yeah,